Hello, my name's Jason Dormon, Director and Co-founder of the Forum Music and Arts Centre. You are standing on Fonthill, the home of the Chalybeate Spring and the Forum. Historically, it was the site of a blacksmith's. Then in 1939, the building you see today was constructed as a rest area and meeting place with toilets for those walking on the common. It was converted into a music venue in 1993. Over the years, we've added a garden, a studio, a green room, an artwork installation on the roof by Jonathan Wright, and some new disabled toilets. The Forum operates as a community interest company, with all profit being invested back into the local community. The Forum has hosted performances from thousands of emerging artists from all over the world. With a capacity of 250 people, it's a stalwart of the national touring circuit and has played host to acts such as Green Day, Oasis, Coldplay, Muse, Man and Adele on their way to international success. Gallagher, lead singer of Oasis, promised to come back and buy the place and put the bar manager out of a job when he refused him another free beer. We're still waiting. For Muse's first gig here in January 1999, there were only 23 paying gig-goers. A fourth sold-out show was scheduled, but by then they were too big for the 250 capacity show. We hope they may come back one day to honour that booking, but again, we are still waiting. At the other end of the spectrum, the Forum nurtures local talent, often providing musicians from the southeast of England their first professional gig. The Forum trains and develops skills in young people who wish to learn about the music production and promotion, and it gives access to thousands of music fans of all ages each year. The Forum is not just a multi-award-winning grassroots music venue, but also a community space which is used for music workshops and classes, rehearsal space for musicians, spoken word, under-18 mic nights, theatre, puppetry, wedding parties, photographic shoots and charity fundraisers. The Forum, even though independent, works closely with the other venues in Tunbridge Wells and many festivals in the southeast, and hosts its own free 4-day festival, Unfest, in May. We've built a family, a holy trinity of music fans, passionate volunteers and talented artists. We can all be proud of the community we have created.
I'm Carolyn Gray. I'm a volunteer at the Forum. I'm interested in both music and history, so I started having a look at the history of this site, which is known as Fonthill. We found out that there was a building here before Lord North turned up and told everyone else about the water, that a lady called Mrs. Humphreys lived in a cottage on this site, and she apparently offered Lord North a drink of water. From then on, other things got built on this site, so it became a forge and a house. But we still have down at the bottom of the slope a spring and a cold bath that were here during the time that what we know as the Pantals was a famous place to visit. So, not quite sure why Mrs. Humphreys was living in a cottage next to a spring. Obviously the landscape back then was very different. This was part of Rust Hall. The manor of Rust Hall owns the commons. There's maps where there's a river running past and there's springs, and she probably was responsible for looking after the springs here, but we don't know.
I think Tunbridge has always done very well with punk music. So at the moment we've got bands like Ladybird and Slaves doing very well. I think maybe people like to push against its perceived poshness.
So my desert island dish to sum up Tunbridge Wells would actually be Where's Your Car, Debbie by Slaves, because they wrote it about Tunbridge Wells. They wrote it about walking from the Forum up the road at the back with Debbie trying to look for her car at that time where we had a potential Yeti running around the common.
My favourite gigs are the ones where people leave really happy and smiling, and obviously that happens a lot.